Assemble for me. Give me an Avengers Assemble. Which, please?
Avengers Assemble!
Okay,
Ready? One.
Can you hear us in the back? Yeah? All right.
Excellent. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Avengers Assemble!
all right, that was pretty good. Welcome to the Avengers panel. I will be introducing our panelists here in a second. Let me press the little button and bring up the graphic if this works. Let's see. And it doesn't work, of course. There it is. All right, we have a bunch of things to show you that are new and a bunch of things to announce, but really the heart of this panel, like the heart of every Marvel panel, is you talking to us. So eventually we will get to the point where we will take questions from you, and we're going to get through all this delightful and excellent, exciting stuff we have coming up as quickly as we possibly can. So, the panelists next to me who have joined us here today, writer of Infinity Avengers and New Avengers, Jonathan Hickman. Mighty Avengers, Mr. Al Ewing. All the way. Writer of Avengers Arena, Dennis Hopeless. Writer of, or co-writer, I guess, of Secret Avengers at the moment, Mr. Alice Kopp. Writer, co-writer of Secret Avengers right now, Mr. Nick Spencer. People should check out. Editor of Thor and Avengers Secret, Young and Assembling, Lauren Sankovic. And me. All right, here we go. Coming up in Avengers, written by John, drawn by Neil Yu, and with issues coming up drawn by Salvador Roca. John, you want to say 2 seconds about what's coming up after Infinity?
Hopefully the writing will be better, the art will certainly be better.
Which is not to say that what
The art was exceptional. I'm just saying this will be even better.
as you'll see there on the right, because we have completely run out of ideas, we are going to be introducing the all-new Avengers. All right. Quick peek ahead at New Avengers after Infinity, also written by John, art by Simone Bianchi for a while. We're doing the tie-ins to Inhumanity. John, 2 seconds on that.
This is my favorite book, and I'm pretty happy I'm getting to work with Simone.
Did you guys check out Thanos Rising? Jay Sarin, Simone Bianchi? Yeah, look it up. I hear he's going to show up and he's in Infinity. Is that right? In Thanos? Yeah. Check it out.
New Avengers, and we say this every panel, and nobody quite believes us, but maybe with Infinity you're starting to get a sense of it. New Avengers is the most important book we are publishing right now. So if you are not reading it, you will want to have having read it when we get to the stuff that we're getting to. Okay, down the line, Mighty Avengers 3, 4, and 5. Yes, all the way to 5 we're going. Al, anything to say about what is coming up in the world of Mighty Avengers?
It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Issue 3 is going to make your head explode, and then issue 4 and 5, they're going to sweep up the pieces into a little box and then blow that up as well. So get ready for some exploding head action on your part.
Yeah. Punching action as you like it. All right, Avengers Arena, heading towards the end. Dennis, what can you tell us about that, particularly that last cover? It does not look like it goes.
Yeah, everybody dies.
You really didn't think that through very well when you wrote that story.
Yeah, it was fun to kill everybody.
Have good time in the new job. Coming up, Secret Avengers 12, 13, 14. Nick and Alice, what can you tell us about Secret 12, 13, 14?
One of you please start.
All right, we'll start. How to Make a Mockingbird is the closest I've gotten to co-writing something and creating something that really feels, at least to me, like a super pulpy updated Steranko, thanks in large part to Butch Joyce and Luke Ross who are working on the art. And I'm incredibly excited about seeing it all come together. It is actually exceeding my expectations. That's about it.
So Captain America 13, 14, and 15, we got absolutely nobody here that's working on the book apart from me. I will tell you that we are in the midst of the Loose Nuke arc, in which the Super Soldier Nuke, best remembered for Frank Miller's Daredevil, comes back with the mission and a plan, and a devastated Captain America must get himself back up off the map to confront a super soldier of another era. Beautiful art from Carlos Pacheco, who's really bringing game, and Nick Klein, who's doing issue 13, and did a marvelous job with it. And coming up with Thor, God of Thunder, a wonderful book. Lauren, why don't you tell us what is happening?
Yeah, so Thor, God of Thunder, The Accursed started with issue 13 back in September, which was only last month. And things have only gotten wilder as Thor and the League of Realms have come together to fight Malekith. Malekith, the evil sorcerer of the Dark Elves, has returned and is wreaking havoc across the 9 realms. And can he be stopped? We're not sure. But the next 3 issues are on their way, so keep an eye out and watch it back.
All right, coming up in the future, it is time for all new Marvel Now. If people like Marvel Now, we are going to do some more Marvel Now. We are nowing a bunch of our books. We are launching new books. She just has the vapors, folks. It's like this all the time in the office. So
Don't worry, I'll share.
let's show you some stuff coming up and some teasers and such. So we've talked about this a little bit before. Avengers number 24 is now Avengers 24 Point Now, which is also sort of Avengers number 1, just to make it confusing. It's the kickoff book. It ships on Christmas Eve as our little Christmas present to you, end of the year. A big 30 pages, if we get 30 pages done in time, special extravaganza. John, what can you tell us about Rogue Planet, the story of Avengers 24? Point Now, number 1, 8763245.
I'm hoping to get it written soon. So. Look, I'm getting to work with Assad Rivik again, which if you got to see our Ultimate stuff is really, really special, and I'm unbelievably excited for it. So.
All right, good deal. Next up, we, as some of you have probably seen online, we've been releasing a bunch of these teasers over the last couple of weeks, and so we're going to play a little bogus game here. I want to hear from you, if you could, just yell at it, if you would, what you think this teaser was all about.
X-Men, Doctor Strange, Man Ray,
Uncanny X-Force. Wow, it's a pretty big,
But I did hear the correct answer.
Doctor Strange.
All right.
I don't think any of this were right.
Devil Dinosaur.
Somebody was right. One person was right. Mind Bubble. Mind Bubble is the next arc coming up in Captain America. From Rick Remender and Pascal Leaks, who's doing issue 16, which is now 16 Point Now, which is now number 1. Whew. And then he is joined by Nick Klein for Cap 17, which introduces the flamboyant and deadly Dr. Mind Bubble. A product of the Weapon Minds program, devised and designed specifically to eliminate and erase super soldiers far and wide. He is the malevolent assassin who will kill you with kindness, and he is coming your way in Cap 17. All right, we also released this teaser, Extinction. Any guesses as to what this could be about? Howard the Duck! All right. You are all far more creative than we are. All right, here is the answer.
Avengers AI.
Yes, Point Now, which is number 1, even though there's not a big number 1 here.
Yeah, it's implied. So, with 8 Point Now, Sam Humphries and Andre Araujo, who's been reading, who's excited, who likes robots. Yeah! So with 8 Point Now, we're going to take it up a notch, and the robots are going to take all of us over. It's over. It's over. We're all done. Humanity's at an end. You can just lay back, relax, and the robots will take over for you. So yeah, no big deal. So hang on, enjoy, and you'll be dead soon. So it won't matter.
I kind of wish it was how we done.
All right, frenemies. Any thoughts on frenemies? There's one man up here who knows the answer.
What? I can't hear you. What do you think that is?
Okay. All right.
It's Secret Avengers #1. Michael Bay meets Arrested Development would be a solid way of describing it. There's really nothing quite like that book happening in my mind right now. It's pretty close to what Hawkeye feels like in places. It's pretty close to what Spider-Woman and the Avengers Assemble feels like.
Except we might actually blow up the world. We could do that. It could happen. Anytime.
And
Our artists.
yes, Michael Walsh.
Anybody read Zero? Yeah? Yeah.
At least one. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
They like you.
And we're very much coming back to the classic mission statement of Secret Avengers, meaning don't get seen, run the mission, save the world, and don't break as many things as you've broken last time.
Also, if you might have noticed, Spider-Woman coming on board. Yeah. So, Spider-Woman, Black Widow, and Hawkeye.
Love triangle.
And Coulson. Wow, there's some trouble brewing.
Pure engineer,
Really?
and
I
there's
think
someone
Hawkeye has
else.
the bandages still on his face.
There's a secret special. We could kind of call it a person, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it was not told before.
Now,
We'll give it
there's a
a.
special member who will be joining, and
Oh, you mostly love him or her. Yeah, you do.
All right, we teased global. Let's just start. I think we should just go into these now. People are just crazy. It's getting unruly wild out
It's
there.
Howard the Duck. Go ahead.
Oh, Captain Planet.
All right, here we go. World. A new ongoing launching after Infinity, written by John Hickman, but mostly by Nick Spencer, with art by Steph Douglas. It's true, John. I tell the people how it is, because that's how it is. We're pleased to speak towards this new book we have coming up. That we're very happy.
I thought of the title, and then Nick thought of something else.
This is the biggest book I've ever worked on. This is all about the Avengers post-Infinity, coming back to Marvel Earth and finding a very changed place, and it's all about exploring the changing landscape of the Marvel Earth. And it's going to be huge. So yeah, excited.
Show you Spider-Woman. Delightful Art Adams wraparound cover #1.
Art Adams.
Art wrap.
That's nice. And yeah, Stefano Caselli is doing the art on this. He's a beast.
All right. What else do we have coming up? We have Descent from Dennis Hopeless, the no longer unemployed Dennis Hopeless, from Kev Walker. You ready to tell us?
Yeah, just show it.
Here we go. Avengers Undercover #1.
Avengers Undercover is the follow-up to Avengers Arena. After Arcade kills everyone, a couple of the kids come back to life. And they go undercover in the Masters of Evil as an attempt to bring them down from the inside. But they all have pretty bad PTSD from what went on in the arena, so they find that they might actually fit in a little better with the villains. Thank you.
All right, and we had Trust, another teaser. Al, you ready for this?
One guy was pretty close to the leather boy.
Are you ready for this one, Lauren? What do you think?
So, at San Diego, there was a certain person that came on stage who has quite a presence. And he encouraged you, nay, he commanded you to say his name. So say his name!
going in on this. First thing, issue 1, page 1, Loki kills Thor. He's dead. We're killing him off. We're murdering Thor right there, snap on the back, page 1. He wins! And the second thing you need to know is that we are always, always, always going to lie to you. Trust us, we are going to trick you every issue. Because that's what Loki does. What does Loki do? Lies.
I'm guessing not.
Couple more for folks who are not here. Atonement. And as some people figured out, this is Black Widow. A beautiful book, as the teaser there says, Agent Avenger Assassin. That is the take and the tone of the book. To see a little bit more of the interior art from this, and get some insights as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. Please join us at the Women of Marvel panel on Sunday at 1:15.
I'll be there.
Lauren will be there, and I will not, for hopefully obvious reasons.
Yeah, this is a great looking book, guys.
It is a terrific book. Nathan is a real find, and he's going to take the character to hopefully to levels that we've not reached before.
New depths.
New depths of levels. All right, and that concludes our slideshow. So the rest of our time here is really for you guys. So I think we have a microphone over there if people want to start queuing up. Anybody who has any questions, anything you want to ask any of our fun panelists?
And the room is full.
About anything? Yes, it is a full house.
It was disconcerting when you couldn't see them.
Guys, I gotta point out that there's what I think is a Captain Marvel dog here, and it's amazing. Oh, you're so gorgeous. I love you. Yeah, Carol Corps members, represent. The only one that counts.
All right, let's take us in, sir, with a question, if you would.
My question is to do with the Ultimate Comics. Is the Cataclysm series going to end all the Ultimate Comics that are out? And are we going to see any Spider-Man?
All right, is Cataclysm, which is not part of the Avengers, going to end all of the Ultimate Comics? The place to find that answer, sadly, sir, would be at our all-new Marvel Now and Humanity panel tomorrow at 1:15, where we will tell you about all things Cataclysm. But I cannot tell you now, other than it's very sad.
What about Spider-Man?
We're very sad.
The book's all in. So.
More tomorrow, I'm afraid.
You get?
Yes, you're right. Oh,
Yeah.
no, there's guys on both sides.
Yeah.
Let me switch to this side. You're right. Thank you for your honesty.
First off, I just want to thank Hickman for Infinity. It's like one of my favorite storylines ever.
People like it, Infinity?
I just had a quick question about the Hood, Avenger villain. He's one of my personal favorites, kind of like the Punisher, is kind of like an anti-hero. I think the Hood is an anti-villain and kind of an opportunist who can get powers and just wreak havoc. Is there any chance we're going to see the Hood anytime soon in the Marvel Universe, maybe tussling up the Avengers?
You want to talk about Avengers or not?
There's no Hood in the Avengers, right? I don't know. No, the Hood will not be appearing in the Avengers. But the question was, is he showing up in anything else?
Yeah, I'll follow up.
Okay, yeah.
We're going to put two-handed here.
So my answer was no.
Right.
Tom's answer is...
My answer is in terms of him showing up elsewhere, you're going to have to wait and see, I'm afraid.
Oh, man.
Terrible answer, but I'm sorry. Let's go to the side.
All right, Tyree from the Bahamas. This is for the writing staff. A lot of people talk about characters that they love, but in the 90s, Tony went through a lot of writers that actually kind of hated him, but it introduced a lot to the character. Is there any aspect of a character that you would, of the team, that you would admit to disliking, feeling uncomfortable with, of any of the team? In terms of the team.
I really hate Dan Slott's Spider-Man stuff, so... I'm just kidding, I love it. No, I mean, I pretty much got to pick everybody in Avengers. Pretty happy with that whole roster. What about you guys? Did you get stuck with anybody, Dennis?
No, I handpicked the people that I got to kill.
There you go.
I believe it or not, I like them all.
I honestly can't think of anybody who I've got a problem with. I mean, the fact that there's 9 of them, there's 9 people, I think that's a lot to juggle, so I'm kind of constantly finding ways to give everybody a little moment. So I guess, you know, I dislike the numbers. But that's not really an answer, that's hedging. But
They don't force us to write any character. Like, you pitch the book you want to do for the most part, and you can say no if they were to offer you something you weren't into. So, right?
Pretty much.
Sometimes a character goes in a different direction than you might expect, and if it feels right, you just have to go with that, and your opinion really stays out of it because it's about what's best for the story. Whatever feels best is going to go in.
Appreciate it.
Hi, my question's for Jonathan. I just wanted to know, are we going to see Dr. Doom again in the new Avengers anytime soon?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, like Tom said already, this new Avengers stuff has been kind of interesting so far, but it's getting ready to get
A lot more.
yeah, pretty fast.
New Avengers 11 is kind of a little bit of a game changer, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think you get to see the broader picture that we're kind of both Avengers and New Avengers are leading towards.
Okay, I have a question for Mr. Jonathan Hickman. I first got into your writing through Secret Warriors and the Shield maybe a little while back. I just want to know if there's any plans to get any of the Secret Warrior characters or finish the Shield book at all.
Yeah, well, thank you. You know, we're using Manifold, Aiden Fessy, and pretty much every month in the Avengers stuff. Is he there?
He was in Secret Avengers 9 as well.
Yeah.
Indian World.
Yeah, he'll definitely be in Avengers.
Yeah, so you'll see a little bit more of that. As far as Shield, yeah, Dustin has already drawn issue 5, and now that he's done with Infinity, we're gonna finish. There's 1 issue left, and we're gonna get it done, and then as soon as we're done with that, that's probably right. I'm thinking as soon as we're 6, we'll solicit them, but they're coming out now. We're gonna finish that. We both love that book.
Thank you very much. I love it too.
Cool, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Hi, you broached the subject of Captain Marvel just a moment ago. It's been 2 months since we've seen a new preview for Captain Marvel. Is there any information you can share with us?
Spider-Man panel.
Spider-Man panel. That's a strange
Spider-Man panel.
and yet provocative. The Spider-Man panel will have more information for you and the rest of the Carol 4 in the audience.
Hi, this question is for Jonathan Hickman. About a year ago or so, I remember you did like an interview I think on OptimumResources.com, and they asked you.
They were all lies.
They asked you if anything from your Ultimates run that was kind of cut short had made its way to Avengers, and you said no, except for one big thing. Can you tell me what that is?
I cannot. I'm sorry.
It hasn't happened yet in the book?
No, no, it hasn't. We're getting there though. It'll be a big deal.
Okay. I have one more question. That's again about Avengers. So, Ex Nihilo, is that how you say the name?
Ex Nihilo.
Yeah. So he basically like killed, I don't know, a few million people. I mean, he turned them into monsters, but so they didn't.
You would say that he evolved them into a higher life form, but sure, yeah, killed them.
But how does the Avengers, I was kind of shocked when the Avengers brought him onto the team because he did that. Is there going to be any consequences to that, like what he did?
Like most things that I do, like if I throw something out there and leave it there for a little while, eventually I'll get back to it. All of that stuff is going to get covered in a big way. So I know it was a big deal, and it seemed really heartless and bad, but maybe something even worse will come out of it, right? Because drama, why not, right?
Okay, my question is about Infinity and after Infinity. With all the new Inhumans showing up and the fact that maybe about a year ago we got all these new mutants popping up, are other and start arguing over the world being too small for all of them?
That is a fine question. And in fact, I think it is inevitable that in a world that maybe isn't always to the liking of the mutant population, who are feared and hated and persecuted, the fact that there is now going to be another group, large group of people occupying a big chunk of space and feeling similarly, can only lead to conflict between those two groups in the days to come. So yeah, I think it is inevitable that we will see some touch points and some connections and some fisticuffs and some alliances between X characters and Inhumans characters.
Cool, thank you.
All right.
Hello, for Jonathan. First off, I want to really thank you for creating Bentley 23. He was my favorite thing to come out of your great run on Fantastic Four. And the question I have is actually before Infinity, the start of your run on Avengers, you set up these symbols that showed up in the book that had, it was this like web layout of an icon for each of the characters. I wanted to know where that came from and if that's still just kind of a visual representation of where things are in the story that's going to continue.
I think if you're looking for the answers of what's the missing little bits and where we go from here, you're talking about issue 24 point.
24 point now point 1. Yes.
Yeah.
Very relevant.
Yeah, so it'll be like as soon as Infinity's over, the next issue gets into all of that stuff. So,
thank you.
Do you use any of that in Avengers World? Or do you, until Nick gets into it, and it's gonna we'll turn it sideways.
Alright, first I want to thank you guys for writing comic books, period, because now I have something to do during class, so thank you all for that. But I kind of wondered, a lot of facets to me of the Ultimate Universe kind of leaked over into the mainstream Marvel Universe, and the Ultimates was kind of like, worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. obviously, and we've seen a lot of the lines between the Avengers team and S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of blur. And then we have all these different Avengers teams that covers different scenarios. We got New Avengers, Young Avengers, we got Avengers teams that had a whole bunch of mutants on it. Are we going to kind of see the Avengers kind of like become like the Ultimates were almost, kind of like a police force almost for the world or even the galaxy at some point?
Well, I don't know if they're not that to kind of begin with, but yeah, certainly not necessarily in the way that Ultimates did. But, the Avengers have kind of gotten bigger with the notion, the understanding that this has got to be an Avengers world, that they've got to protect the peace and keep the stability and protect the planet. And so we're going to see more of that as, as the months go on, both in Avengers and in Avengers world. It won't be really like Ultimates per se. It'll be kind of on a different level, which is, it sounds like it's tough to represent, but sort of in a broader sort of a way. But yeah, we're going to see the Avengers all over the place doing things in all different corners of the land. Anything, Nick?
Yeah, you're going to see the Avengers try their hand at being global police of a sort. They're going to tighten the relationship with S.H.I.E.L.D. And things are going to go very badly. That's not going to work out.
Because drama.
All right, anything Avengers and Black Panther too. My uncle made that.
Well, Panthers is a big part of New Avengers every single month. He's sort of the linchpin character of that whole series. So he's there on a regular basis.
All right, thank you.
All right.
This question's for Jonathan. About a little bit over a year ago, you took over most of the Avenger lines, and I gotta say, don't tell Brian this, but I think your stuff's way better than his. But,
I know.
I'm gonna text him. Two quick things. First of all, do you envision staying on the lines as nearly as long as he did? And secondly, if you could go back in time and tell yourself something, knowing what you know now, writing for the year, what would it be and why?
I bet you aren't thinking exactly.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you tell me what you think I'm thinking?
Don't do Infinity.
Say no, and tell you to do even more work. No, I'm not going to be on it as long as Brian. How long is Brian on it?
Brian was on it 8, 9 years. He did a big long
Yeah, no, I would die. I don't know how that dude's still alive. But there's also, the Avengers is so much bigger now. Look how many different books that we have that are all Avengers books. It's just, you know, I have a story that I want to tell, and then I'm gonna you know, get in there and tell it and get out. You know, it's heading somewhere, but you know, I'm not gonna stay on. I definitely want to
Just to
outstay my
reassure
welcome.
you, that ending is not coming like tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's like Fantastic Four. Like it's a year. You know, years. It sounds so bad. Al, how long are you planning on staying on Mighty Avengers?
Till like kick me off, really.
Exactly.
I've got it timed up for release. I mean, I've got it in my head at least end of issue 14.
Yeah.
And I'm putting in some little plots, subplots after that. So, you know, at least a couple of years I can keep going on it. But really, you know, you'll have to work with my
Yeah, no, well, that's cool. Dennis, do you have like a period of time that you're thinking about for your new one?
Yeah, but as long as I have a long version of the story and a shorter version of the story, it kind of depends
Just see where it's
how
at.
that goes, yeah. But yeah, at least a year.
Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing, kind of, it's, you know, it's becoming a little bit more acceptable that's kind of what we do, and people are looking for like a finite story within a, you know, what is essentially could be an infinite number of you know, Marvel comics from, you know, 50s or whatever to 100 years from now, right? So we just want to just make these discrete things that are kind of cool.
It's sort of like a canvas. You can zoom in on each part and you're going to get a sort of complete story, but it always gets bigger and bigger. And we're awesome.
Exactly what I meant.
Anyway, so we have heroes that use guns and maces and knives and shields and all types of things, but there's been a trend that I've been noticing. It doesn't seem like there are any males who use swords, and those that have been or known to use swords have been kind of shunted off the window, you know, like Black Knight, Blade, all those guys. And I was wondering if there's some type of unwritten taboo where it's just women and anti-heroes that are allowed to use them. And as a follow-up, will we be saying Black Knight? Exactly.
The stealth Black Knight.
Yeah, there's no particular you know, taboo or anything. It's just a coincidence or it's just a happenstance that I don't even know how many characters.
I mean,
how many
like
characters use swords besides-
X-Force has like a chick with 6 arms and 6 swords, and Psylocke, and God knows what else.
Yeah, he's talking about dudes though. He's talking about
Kid
men-
Britain had a sword.
Men with swords.
Yeah, how long did it last?
Look, man, he's in that murder world.
Loki's got a cool sword. Except, I know, heroes, not really, yeah, that comes in
It's
there.
definitely the hero of the story.
He's got a sword. He's got a great sword.
Yeah, sure. Look, he does get a great sword.
Oh, and he's coming up in Secret Avengers very, very soon. Shang-Chi, that is.
All right. So we have plenty of male swordplay coming up, but not from Black Knight.
Although if you do like Black Knight, you should go back and check out Avengers Assemble, was it 15?
It was 15.
15? Yeah, that Al wrote, featuring Black Knight. And other awesome British characters. British themed characters.
I had a question for all of you individually. Out of all the original Avengers characters that Marvel created, which one do each of you feel Marvel put the most vivid storyline into it?
Hank Pym. Hank Pym, definitely. That's to me, you know, what they did with that character in terms of the Yellow Jacket stuff, the Masters of Evil stuff is just that I don't think you can get away with it now. Like it was amazing to do it.
If you're talking about going right back to the very first issues, I always liked what they did with the Hulk, like quitting in issue 2 because they all hate him. That, you know, I felt really sorry for him when I went back and read those. It's like, he's just kind of sitting there, yeah, I didn't realise how much he hates him. Yeah, so, you know, strong stuff from Stan.
I don't know, Iron Man's pretty bulky later when he started because had interesting character work. At this point, they're all pretty elaborate characters. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know that there was more attention paid to any one of them necessarily. Every time that, whether it was Stan, Jack Kirby, or Don Heck, or whomever, came out to tell one of these original stories, they kind of gave it their all, and then, everyone that followed them kind of did the same. So there have been up periods, there have been down periods. Some of it just depends on what you like, what your taste is, what your preference is. But I kind of dig all of them. It's hard to point to one over the others and say, yeah, that's really the one. Particularly when you're talking in terms of the Avengers, because to me, people ask me all the time, like, who's your favorite Avenger? And to me, the Avengers aren't the Avengers unless there's more than one of them. I can like Captain America, or I can like Iron Man, or Thor, or Hawkeye, or whoever, but unless they're together, it's not really the Avengers. So to me, it's never quite one. It might be a relationship or a couple of relationships, but I always have a hard time when people ask me my favorite Avengers for that reason.
You don't have like a kind of favorite Avenger? I know, because you got like a favorite Fantastic Four member. That's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, sort of, but not the same thing. I do not have a favorite Avenger.
Okay.
I don't. All right.
Hi, my question is about Avengers World, the comic that you announced. Yes. I believe I saw Spider-Man up in the corner, and my question is that the Superior Spider-Man? And if it is, in the recent Superior Spider-Man comic books, I recall him turning in his Avengers card, and that he decided he wanted to work solo. How are you going to pull him into that?
Well, at the moment, the Superior Spider-Man is still an Avenger. He's appearing regularly in Al's book,
Yep.
Mighty Avengers. He's been in and around Avengers. Certainly stuff is going on with him in Danny's book, Superior Spider-Man, and we'll continue, like we do with all the other characters, to reflect what's going on there. The last we saw of him with the Avengers in Superior, if I recall right, he was sort of on probation. They came to him, he was acting weird, doing all this crazy supervillainy stuff, and they brought him in and they ran some tests and couldn't find anything wrong, and they sort of gave him a scolding and a warning, and off he went. Until that situation changes, he's an Avenger. So when and if it does change, he won't be an Avengers anymore. We will take him out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Ryan. I've got two questions. One, what's happening with Uncanny Avengers? Is there any news about that?
Oh, Uncanny Avengers. It's the one we didn't have on here. Rick is going to kill me. Uncanny Avengers is massive. Starting in Uncanny Avengers 14, Steve McNiven, who was a guest here at the show, coming on to do the second act, the follow-up act to the Apocalypse Twins, which is Ragnarok Now. There have been some solicits talking about the deaths of major characters, and those all happened in Steve's first issue, partly because it was too tough for him to draw all those guys that Rick put in the book, so we killed a few of them off to make it easier for him. And the story only gets crazier from there. Shortly you'll hear about the third movement in this, which starts in Uncanny Avengers 18 and is called Avenge the Earth.
My second question is about the new Avengers World. How is that going to differentiate between the main Avengers title and the stuff?
That is also an excellent question, and I will give you an honest answer. After Infinity, as you can tell from this panel, Jonathan is very tired. Consequently, for about 5 to 6 months, we're going to go down from shipping twice a month on Avengers to only once a month. Only once a month. And in place of that second Avengers book, we will begin to run Avengers World, in which Nick will do all the heavy lifting, and that'll take some of the burden off Jonathan, so he can get his mojo back to go back to being twice a month at some point, probably around spring of next year.
Yeah, I'd like to sleep in the same bed as my wife again. That would be nice. I'm looking to get let back in the house. Would also be nice.
Also, can I get some comments signed, Jonathan?
Can you do what?
Get some comments signed.
Yeah, just come on back here. I'll wait for you.
Hi, I just want to congratulate you on the Infinity storyline. I really enjoyed it. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
And I think my favorite dramatic moment was when Namor threw Wakanda under the bus, so to speak, and that just said a lot about those characters, so I really enjoyed that. My question, sorry?
Me too.
My question is about current events, and although this is probably going to be resolved before anything we get to print, will the government shutdown have any effect on Avengers or S.H.I.E.L.D.? Like for Hawkeye, is Hawkeye considered an essential employee, or will he get furloughed?
We're joking. But if I would have stayed on Ultimates, there was a scene where President Cap settled an impasse by beating the shit out of the two Mexican parties. They come in to negotiate. The door shuts. The door opens. They walk out with bloody noses. You'll stop.
That sounds just like what Congress needs.
Don't bring your politics into this panel.
Mr. Hopeless, I just wanted to say, honestly, when I first heard about Avengers Arena, it legitimately pissed me off that it just existed.
You and everyone else.
Apparently, it really is one of my favorite books now. Granted, I reserve the right to change that name, the runways don't make it. But, while I am stoked that the book is coming out, following it,
yeah.
Is there any hope for more Teen Heroes of Murder World?
Well, I mean, there's always hope.